They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
Finally, shipping made easy. Just Ship is your answer to your shipping aggravation. They come pick up your package and ship it for you. Birthday gifts, eBay sales, or an online return. Just Ship can handle all of them for you. Act now and you can save 20% on an annual subscription, which will take you through the 2020 holiday months. Go to www.justship.net now and take the aggravation out of shipping.
Veterans Day in the U.S. is also known as Armistice Day in other parts of the world, and it honors the many military who have fought for freedom. It is also the anniversary of the signing of the armistice that ended World War I. Major hostilities formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. The folks at the Voice of South Marion join you in remembering military past and present.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named, the man, the myth, the only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks for Tom Schmitz on a dreary, overcast day as Tropical Storm Ada, just off the coast. Looks like it's going to come right at us, folks. They've changed the projection and said Ocala is in the crosshairs. They expect 45 mile an hour to 50 mile an hour winds for Ada, so when it comes through. So it's going to move through fast. They say it'll go from one side of the state to the other side of the state in 12 hours. So it'll move through fast, but it's going to be, I hope you're prepared. We may lose some power and stuff like that. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want to say Happy Veterans Day to anybody or talk about your experience with a veteran. We'll take your calls at 622-9622. Got about 4 or 5 minutes. We can take your calls now. I got an interview at 9 o'clock with the good folks from On Top of the World. We're gonna find out about what's going on at Circle Square. Lots of good shows out at Circle Square. We're going to talk to them about the events coming up at On Top of the World Circle Square. That's at the 9 o'clock hour. Then I'm going to talk with Steve Preston. He's the CEO of Goodwill Industries International. We're going to talk about how Goodwill has provided a variety of services for veterans. Then at 10 o'clock, I have some news and some places that are having veterans discounts that I'll give you. The reason I gave you the Wendy's one, I'll give you that again. Wendy's veterans or active military personnel who present a valid military ID at participating restaurants will be provided with a free small breakfast combo, absolutely free, between the hours of 6:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. So that's the reason I gave you that one so early is at 10:30 that one ends. So thanks to them for supplying our veterans with a free breakfast this morning. 622-9622, the number to call. Let's get into Ada. It's a tropical. I will read this from the National Weather Service. Tropical storm warning has been issued for Marion, Alachua, and surrounding counties. Tropical storm Eta has started moving rapidly north in the Gulf of Mexico. It's expected to cross the state quickly on Thursday. That's tomorrow. Ada began moving rapidly north toward the western coast of Florida early Wednesday when an approaching front was able to nudge a high-pressure system off the east coast of Florida, enough to give Ada an opening. Ada had been stationary for a couple days, and at one point, forecasters believed upper-level shear would tear the storm apart. Tropical storm warning was issued at 4 a.m. this morning, and forecasters say that Ada is expected to be a weakening tropical storm when it makes landfall north of Tampa at about noon tomorrow. Ada will move across north-central Florida quickly. It'll cross the state within 12 hours, like I said, before heading into the Atlantic Ocean near Jacksonville. Andrew Shashai, a National Weather Service meteorologist in Jacksonville, said tropical force winds of 40 miles an hour plus or more are likely for several hours in both Marion and Alachua counties, depending on where the storm makes landfall. The National Hurricane Center issued its discussion that states all computer guidance models do show increasing shear by tonight, and the National Hurricane Center forecast continues to call for a weakening of Ada as it approaches the west coast of Florida. So, Tropical Storm Ada coming right at us. If the models at all are to be believed, it's coming right towards us. And, there's going to be some wind. They say it'll tear it apart and make it a little less of a storm than it is now. Right now, it has maximum sustained winds of 70 miles per hour, just 4 miles shy of being classified a hurricane. It is moving across the Gulf at 12 miles an hour, and it looks like it could be a bad thunderstorm, a bad storm for us for the better part of about 12 hours. If the eye comes on the shore at noon tomorrow, then that means we should start seeing the effects of it about midnight tonight. And we'll see some feeder bands and all day today, I'm sure. Last night, I was sitting at home last night at about 11:15. I'm watching the news. Tom Schmitz from News 6 is giving us his updates. He goes, in Marion County, you should be experiencing heavy rainfall just about now. And as he says that, my lanai with its metal roof, it was just so noisy, the TV had to be turned way up because it was raining so hard that the metal roof on the lanai was making a clattering. So I went out and sat on the front porch for about 10-15 minutes and just watched a deluge and watched it rain so hard that my gutters couldn't keep up, and it was actually flooding back onto the porch I was sitting on. And that was just one little band that came through. It was gone in about 15 minutes, but it was raining so hard that it overwhelmed my gutter system and the runoff for the gutter system, that it was backflowing onto the porch. So that's going to be the problem with this storm, is the rainfall amounts, I think, because we're already saturated. Sumter County last night issued flood warnings and tropical storm warnings last night at like 9 o'clock. They were the only county to do so at the time. Now Marion, Alachua, all kind of counties have issued flood warnings and tropical storm warnings. But Sumter County did it last night because the ground is saturated. It's been raining for the better part of 2 days in a time period in the last month and a half that it's rained a lot. And now it looks like this storm is coming to bring us more rain. Just keep those things in mind, folks. I don't have any, I'm sure the city, I'll check the city's website during a break and see if they've gotten sandbag options. I don't know if they have or not yet. I'll check the city's website and the county website and see if there's places where you can go get sand. Joe, I'll ask Joe real quick. Joe, have you heard of any reports of where we can go get sandbags or anything?
Yeah, I'll check.
Will you check for that? So we'll get Joe to check to see if there's places where you can go get sandbags, because flooding's going to be an issue. Flooding's going to be the issue, and down trees, because with all this rain, a lot of these trees, the older trees, with this rain, the ground gets soft. Water oaks, even if they're new water oaks, the ground gets soft with them and they can fall, and that takes down power lines, and, you lose power. So some of the things you need to do, make sure you got a full tank of gas. Go get some cash out of the ATM machine before the storm so you have cash on hand. I don't anticipate this is going to keep the lights out very long, but you may go without power for a day or two. That's part of the sacrifices we give up to live in paradise. Somebody goes, well, they don't give up sacrifices in Hawaii. Yeah, they do. Monsoons come through Hawaii, and they have things called volcanoes that are still active. Every paradise has a little bit of it that causes strife. That's the price you pay for living in paradise. And that's where I live. I live in paradise. Florida is paradise, because I don't like the cold. So I deal with the hurricanes. I deal with tropical storms. I do. That's just part of where I live. And, somebody goes, well, what are some of the things you do? I keep constantly in my freezer 4 or 5 1-gallon freezer bags full of water that are frozen ice blocks. Why would you do that? Power goes out. It's going to take a little longer for my freezer to get to get warm. It might make my food last just that much longer to let the great people at Duke Energy or OEU or whatever service you use get out there and turn your lights back on, turn your electricity back on. That's one of the things I do. I don't think it's one of those things where I don't think the power's going to be out long enough for you to have to worry about filling your bathtub up, but it's not a bad idea. Make sure you got plenty of drinking water on hand, non-perishable items, just in case the power's out for a day or two. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's just a good rule of thumb. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And that's what you need to do in these kind of storms is prepare as like they were coming. And then if it's not as bad as it originally was portrayed, or if it's not bad at all, you don't lose power, well, you got it for the next time, or you stocked up on some food that you can eat at a barbecue or something. But Tropical Storm Ada all the models have now strongly agreed that it's coming right at us. Come on shore somewhere around Cedar Key, they believe, and between Crystal River and Cedar Key, and come right up through Sumter, Marion, and Alachua counties, and out through St. John's and Duval County. So to come right there across the state, right north of Tampa, and exit south of Jacksonville, right there in between St. Augustine and Jacksonville. So it's a serious thing. We'll be right back after this time out with folks from On Top of the World, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
A voting period, according to